Americans are receiving financial backshots. The economy is bending us all over and penetrating us vociferously. A recent labor report confirmed this when it showed that ain't nobody getting no motherfucking jobs.
Hello? Y'all niggas hiring?
No, cause we don't trust nobody.
Of course, in a society that's built on us, the peasantry, taking on jobs so that the system can bilk every single penny of our hard-earned cash from us, making it difficult to find jobs is like locking a pyromaniac in a lumber mill with a tank of kerosene strapped to his ass. Now, as an engineer, I'm no expert in finance. Actually, I'm terrible with money. But I, like many people, can point to one main culprit as the sole reason for driving this impending disaster to its self-deletion inducing conclusion. Interest rates.
I'm gay.
Strap yourselves in, because you are about to have the recession of 2024 explained to you by a moron. At the heart of the American economy is debt. I ask you to spot me $5 to cover my OnlyFans subscription, then I pay it back. That's debt. Easy, right? Well, not so much when it's not just friends helping each other out.
I'm not your buddy, friend. He's not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy.
In the real world, debt is issued as a loan to a borrower from a lender. The borrower can use it to pay for a variety of things that they don't have enough money to pay for out of pocket, such as buying a house, going to college, starting a business, or building a chain of fried chicken restaurants to act as a front for a meth empire. But lenders aren't giving money out to people out of the goodness of their hearts. Actually, they didn't get to have that much money without being unbelievably greedy in the first place. They want a return on their investment. So they're going to charge a few % extra for every single month you make them wait for their money just to make things a little interesting. And that few percentage extra that you pay is called interest. If an interest rate is low, then the debt can be repaid with little extra cost. You could call it a cheap debt. However, if an interest rate is high, then it'll cost a lot to pay off the whole thing, making it an expensive debt. Now, the vast majority of loans in every country are given by banks, and in every country the government has a big central bank that acts as the big daddy that all the other banks in the country take their cues from, including how much interest they're allowed to charge. In the US, the central bank is called the Federal Reserve, and it is led by none other than Adolf Hitler. Jerome Powell. Let's go back to the year of our Lord 2020. The government shut down all the businesses and locked everyone inside their homes to binge-watch TikToks all day. With everyone stuck inside where they couldn't spend money and others even losing their jobs as a result of this dumbass move, the government decided to give out a shit ton of money to everyone. Since the US government didn't have that massive amount of money in their wallet, they turned to their personal bank, the Federal Reserve. Our buddy Jerome started printing off a buttload of money and throwing it at every sentient being with arms long enough to stick out to ask for something from him. At the time, he chopped the interest rate to historic lows as well. All of a sudden, everyone is able to access cheap debt for literally any reason whatsoever. Spending went through the roof, taking the cost of everything from stocks to chicken to OnlyFans accounts with it. By printing all this money and cutting the interest rate so low, Big Homie Jay was able to keep the economy doing well during the quarantine, but in the process made the dollar less valuable. This is called inflation. When you have more money in the system, the value of each dollar is worth less because they're not as rare. Think of it like this. Getting laid for an incel is potentially life-changing, while getting laid for Diddy is just a normal Tuesday at the local orphanage. While this money dwarf solved one problem, he created a whole other problem in inflation, and it quickly became a runaway freight train. All of a sudden, my OnlyFans subscription went from $5 to $15. Let's just pause it here so I can say I forgot to add the fact that he raised interest rates to slow down inflation. I make zero apologies for this error because I warned you at the beginning of the video that I'm a moron. Back to the video. And almost as important to the modern economy, debt became expensive. As I said before, debt lies at the heart of the American economy. Without debt, companies can't have the extra cash necessary to expand operations, which means they can't hire more people to take on the extra work that comes with it.
Let me get a job, bitch.
Let me get a blowjob, you bitch nigga.
Even worse, since America is just a giant Ponzi scheme with aircraft carriers, if you as a business are not growing, you are shrinking. Investors don't want a company that's staying the same size. Those are just as worthless as the ones that aren't growing at all. So they're gonna dump your stock and send prices tumbling. What do you do if you're a greedy CEO who's paid monthly based on increasing stock price? Layoffs. You not only stop hiring people, but you start firing everyone, but yourself of course, to make up the cost. If enough companies keep firing every employee in their general vicinity while also not hiring anyone else to fill in for them, it'll eventually create a giant mass of stressed out, broke-ass motherfuckers. And if you get enough of those, it'll crater the economy since nobody will have money to buy things, which will kill profits and sink stock prices, which will trigger even more layoffs in a vicious cycle. As of now, in early August 2024, we're at the very beginning of that cycle. Whether we can break the cycle before it gets too bad is up to this stingy leprechaun, because businesses need access to cheaper debt in order to pay for stuff and hire more people, which means those interest rates have to come down. I've got no idea what is actually about to happen, and given it's an election year, I dread what's about to come, but I can tell you this. Rich people and corporations will find a way to profit from it. The system is built for them to succeed. It's you and I that will suffer the most, and that should piss you off because none of our elected officials on either side of the aisle is coming to help us. That concludes my remarks for today. I have spoken.